Hey guys, my name is Femboy87 and welcome to my first ever movie review. What is this movie about? Well, goddamn phone. I swear to God, this thing vibrates so much I could use that as a sex toy. Anyways, welcome to my first ever movie review. So I just saw Isle of Dogs. Is that the title? Is that the title? It is. Isle of Dogs. It was beautiful. Okay, so where do I even begin with this movie? Alright, so when I first saw the trailer, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit shaky about the movie, but as we've learned in the past with other movies, trailers do not do movies justice, whether how good or bad they are. Trailers are just, they're just supposed to be a glimpse, but a lot of the times they don't always catch the image of what a movie truly is. And it's especially true for this case. Isle of Dogs was amazing through and through. The graphics, I shouldn't say graphics, the stop motion was amazing. And it was a great indication that stop motion is not going anywhere. We got not only something original, but something just beautifully done, all the way through. I could not believe my eyes when watching it. When I saw the trailer, I thought it was going to be hurtful to my eyes. Boy, was I wrong. The movie was stunning on every level, in every way, shape, or form. Now, warning, this video will contain some spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I highly recommend doing so. It's awesome. And it's definitely a good movie if you like dogs. Alright, are we good? Are the people that don't want to see spoilers left yet, and we have the anxious people who are still here? Cool. Everyone in the movie did an exceptional, if not amazing job voice acting. I thought Bryan Cranston as Chief was perfect and amazing. He voice acted him extremely well, but then again, voice acting, there was no shortage of it in this movie. Through and through, it was great. Bryan Cranston as Chief. Chief is basically a dog with a group of dogs on an island. And this island is known as Trash Island. It's the island where the Japanese banish their dogs. And why, do you ask, do they banish their dogs? The leader of Japan at the time in this movie has officially created a disease to all dogs secretly in order to make them a hazardous creature, so that people don't want anything to do with them. So, by doing so, he is able to initiate an act where he escorts and sends all the dogs to this trash island, where they are banished and probably left to die, scrap, and survive. And from that point, pretty much the movie starts off. The movie starts off with Chef and his gang of dogs rustling it out with another group of dogs for scrap food, all rotten, and so on. The script itself is not only genius, but it's also very, very funny. You can just love to death the interaction with all of these characters, and I especially love that the people talked in Japanese while the dogs spoke in English, and there were times when you didn't understand what the Japanese were talking about. There was one critic who complained about this, but I would say it's nice symbolism in a way. It would be, in a way, kind of what we sound like to a dog. A dog probably sounds normal, while we sound foreign in a sense. The movie itself is also, for stop motion, very well paced. You've got great action scenes throughout the entire film, and it's filmed just so crisp. I've never seen anything like this. I can't even go over how stunning it is. So Chief is the why did I almost say Chef? Chief is, in a sense, he's not the leader of the dogs, but he is, in a way, the one who instructs them what to do. But he believes that they're all their own individual thing. They're like partners. It's supposed to be a mutual relationship between them. And during their time of scrapping, at one point, a human crashes onto Trash Island. They go over there to investigate. Now, Chief believes they should eat him to survive, in a sense, but the other dogs convince him otherwise. Chief is a little grit at first, and it's understandable. He's a stray, always has been, and this time isn't much different, except survival chances are even less than if you were a stray in just Japan. They discover this boy, and they debate as to whether to kill him or not. And the other dogs agree to help him. It's then later on found out that this kid got himself there in a plane to find his dog that was also vanished there. And this whole plot commences for the kid to find the dog. So Chief and his other dogs get together and they go to look for him. Now, let me get his name first, because I'm dumb with names. Atari. Atari's the name of this kid, and he's basically looking for his dog, Spot. And as the plot progresses, in a sense, Chief at first does not like this kid. He wants to be rid of him. He wants to get rid of him. But he agrees to work with him eventually, and as the story progresses, Chief starts to bond with this kid, and it's just so nice to see them bonding, in a sense. Like, it starts off so harsh, so cruel, in a sense. Like, Chief does not like Atari, but it's just beautiful how their relationship builds over the story. And this is the perfect definition of a character arc. For anyone who doesn't watch movies or knows what that is, a character arc is basically when a character starts at one point and goes to another in a story. And not only that, but learns a lesson and changes. And Chief is the perfect resemblance of that. It's just so beautiful how it's filmed. By the way, his dog buddies are named Boss, and I'm stupid. I think there's Duke, Rex. I'll probably just provide a list of names for the dogs, because I'm bad with names. One of the big points where Chief and Atari bond is when they get separated from his pack of dogs due to an inconvenience with what seems to be a transport tram, in a sense, for garbage. Atari and Chief are forced to work together to solve this problem, to reach the rendezvous point. And after Chief decides to actually do what Atari says on one matter, Atari gives him a washover, and it's the first time Chief has really trusted anyone to touch him like that. Because throughout his life, he goes on about how he always bites, how he always has to be careful, he's scared, he's nervous, he's a stray dog, it's natural to him. And it's so well done, it's so well filmed. I can't express it enough. And as they finally reunite, the Japanese are on them. They are attacking him with everything they got. Also, I forgot to mention, Atari is not only fun in this movie, he's also in a sense kind of adorable. He's got this slingshot, it's this whole Boy Scout routine with a slingshot. He's a badass with it. It's just fun to watch. It's great. I love every second of this. They get together, finally, and they're surrounded. Everything is bleak. Everything just, it couldn't be a worse situation. This is what I like to call the A, B, C, D, E, F sequence, where they devise a final plan in a sense, but it all goes wrong. There's a certain level of analyzing I like to do, but I'll get into that in other reviews. Long story short, I have I have movies split into an 8-point sequence. Sequence A through H. This is the F sequence, where a final last-ditch effort seems to have gone wrong for them. And just when things seem bleak for them, they're all surrounded, they're going to be captured and most likely disposed of, Spot finds them, in a sense. The dog they've been looking for this whole movie finds them and his owner, Atari. And the reunion is not only emotional, but a tough one to see in a few senses. A lot of stuff happens. I don't want to spoil everything for you. Like I said, this is a spoiler review, but I'm not going to spoil everything. I don't want to make it entirely pointless for you to see it. And it's revealed, big plot twist, and big spoiler alert, if you still want to leave, now's the time, Chief is actually Spot's younger brother. Yes. This movie takes that kind of a turn. And it's revealed that Spot, in his time of being banished, has actually started a family. And during this time, they've worked together. Not worked together, Jesus. He's gotten with a female dog, and they've even started having babies. And Spot can't do the responsibility for Atari anymore as his protector dog and his pet. So he wants to turn the responsibility over to Spot. Spot at first is very hesitant about this and kind of pissed at Spot for taking this route. So, from that point, it progresses through a story of how Spot ended up there in the first place, how he got vanished, and what happened. After that point, they learn from the Japanese that they're going to initiate an order to kill all dogs on the island. They're going to poison them. They're going to slowly eradicate them. So the final-ditch effort of this movie is carried out, again, beautifully. Atari, with the help of his dog friends and other fellow human friends, again, I'm bad with names, you know who I'm talking about if you've seen this movie, including a crush of his, or I should say she has a crush on him, and together they march into the capital of Japan. And I hope I haven't said Japanese. I hope I haven't said Chinese at any point. Otherwise, I'm going to sound really offensive. I'm not trying to be. And they gather together, and it turns out Atari is actually a distant cousin of the leader of Japan. And a very hard debate ensues before they can initiate the order out to kill the dogs, in a sense. And it's carried out so well and beautifully in the end. The leader of Japan sees the error in his ways, and he tries to change it for the sake of his cousin. It's kind of kiddish, but they pull it off really nicely here. And it's so well carried out. I can't spoil everything for you. Go check it out yourselves. Also, this movie really honors Kurosawa in so many senses, down to the font, down to the style, down to the grittiness in quite a few regards. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. I'm going to give this movie a 4 3/4 stars out of 5. It's pretty much more than a 4 out of 5 star rating. This movie is fantastic. I may have 1 or 2 nitpicks about this movie, but other than that, what are you wasting your time with me for? Go watch the movie. It's amazing. Also, I have to give a big thank you to Chris Stuckman. He's the one who finally convinced me, in a sense, to break the ice and say, screw this, I'm going to do movie reviews. Alright. So, the next film I'm reviewing is probably going to be a bad film, or maybe it's a good one. Probably a bad one because it's what I have access to. Let me know down in the comments what other movies you want me to review, in a sense. And if I can, I will. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. You guys are the bosses here. Go check out Chris Stuckman and let me know down in the comment section what you think of this review and what you think of this movie. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video, whatever it may be. Take care.